Thanks for tuning in to your favorite content creator, UTV. To find out more, follow us on our social media platforms: YouTube UTV124, Facebook UTV124, Instagram UTV124, Twitch UTV124, TikTok UTV_124, and Flow TV channel 124. Remember, UTV, TV for you.
I can't stay.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. It is Friday, June 18th, 2021, and I know we're heading on into the weekend, and I don't know, you'd think as if it's Friday, so you don't have to work as hard. I remember I used to work at Valmore, and well, Miss Cotter, don't get vexed with me, but you know what I used to work there? As if Friday, you just take it like psychologically, you're starting to relax in your head. Paisya, Paiksanuka fella. It's the same. It just doesn't end. There's no relenting. So we have to get into it. But before we do, as always, let me tell you guys good morning. Good morning to those of you listening to us on our radio partner station, that is Hits FM 92.1 and 91.1. Always appreciated. Also, if you are watching us on the different social media platforms where we are streaming every weekday from 11, where you can get the show. It's on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok. And particularly with Facebook, I want to say good morning to you guys and the comments. It continues to, give me food for thought. I sometimes have to, I look at it and, ruminate and look at what you guys are saying. So thank you for that. And for those of you watching us on television, wherever you are, if you're stealing some time away from work or if you're home or wherever you are, I appreciate it for watching us on channel 124 on Flow. Now, Simona, like I said before, my last show, I took particular interest in hearing this one person speak on what's happening with the United Workers' Party, mostly because I know them from the community, I know him from the community. I think there are a lot of people who respect his opinion, the way he has been involved in sports and everything else. So, but if you don't know who Claude Charlemagne is, he has been a United Workers' Party supporter. He's been the campaign manager for Ulrich Mondesi back in 2016 and most recently for Herman Gil Francis. But just in case you do not know, I need to let you see him. So, yeah, take a look.
The people such influence. I'm not surprised for my people of Gifford South and St. Lucia. I'm not someone's choice. Integrity. Kenny Beleles. Here he is. The great Herman Gil Francis, man. Yeah, check Kenny again. Kenny, how are you? Yeah. Remember me? Yes. Yes, and we have a Mabibi there. Campaign manager for sure. Yeah. And head at up, my people. Just out of my mind. Look at Herman Gil. Kenny Passamene. Look at Herman Gil. What's up? We come in Herman Gil. Are you ready, my brother?
I'm ready, my brother.
You ready?
Back home.
All right. So they have a lady passing around there, my people. You don't know lady. Lady ba me pay ya nom nuga ba yo nom ma pipi. Nom tiga we tupatu. Whole technique, whole boy tupatu. The man is ready from south. He's ready. They're going to see for the autograph. Link up at Malosby, Bakery and roundabout. Yeah, man, we there. Yes, we have the people, the poodles, man. Yeah, the poodles. Mr. King, the best campaign manager, man. Yeah, Claude Charlemagne.
So that is Claude Charlemagne. Last month, he resigned as campaign manager for Herman Gil Francis. Let's take a look at very quickly at what he posted on social media, different social media platforms. Let's put that one up, where he is resigning Clearly, you could see that it would have been an honor to serve with you upon my return and inject a much-needed ounce of enthusiasm in the campaign. We composed a management team comprising of some of the most influential persons within the branch, some of whom in their deliberate acts and omission hindered the progress of the campaign in an attempt to destabilize the leadership of the campaign and gain control. This unfortunate trend was further compounded when the chairman of the party and other key campaign officials demanded my removal from the post of campaign manager, citing incompetence and other baseless allegations with a needle. It is with regret that I inform you of my return to St. Lucia today, May 24th, and my decision not to engage in any political activity in this election, as my every attempt in this organization have been met with resistance and disapproval. So, like I said, that was last month when the we can put that down now, when Claude Shalbine doesn't want to be in charge of Herman Gill's campaign. Today, though, well, yesterday, in another letter dated 17th of June, he has resigned from the United Workers' Party. And again, I know we've had that conversation, and some people disagree with me when I say I need, in many instances, with some people at least, to hear their reasons, the reasoning behind not supporting the United Workers' Party. Because if it's about, you get a blight and you just have your own personal vendetta against the party because, you were supposed to get something or money or whatever position or whatever, and now you vex, it matters. But if it's about how we have been treated as the country, the corruption that you're seeing, if it's something like that, then yeah, I need to know the reasons. So let's put up the reasons, because I think he is detailing it there. It's listing why he wants to not be a United Workers' Party supporter anymore. Let's look at the first image. Again, like I said, it's dated June 17th. It's sent to the General Secretary of the United Workers' Party. It says, "Madam, my name is Claude Shalbine, a member of the United Workers' Party, pioneered by the late Sir John Compton to serve this nation with honor, pride, and dignity. Over the past few years, I have watched with despair and consternation the deterioration of the very fabric upon which the party was formed and guided. I have been particularly concerned by the unhinged behavior of the current political leader of the United Workers' Party, his undemocratic tendencies, his failure to honor and respect our constitution and the foundations upon which our nation was founded by Sir John Compton and other patriots of the United Workers' Party." Your bias, that's a wet letter there. Okay, so let's go. "Like many of our citizens, I can no longer support his misguided priorities, his economic policies, all of which have plunged the economy and society in despair. I wish at this point to submit my resignation as a member of the United Workers' Party, effective immediately. I will indeed qualify my statement by laying out the facts in the open to play my part in restoring pride, dignity, and honor to our nation. I joined the organization as an agent of change within my constituency, Vieux-Fort South. I did this with the support of the constituency branch in Vieux-Fort South. For 2 consecutive general elections, the people of Vieux-Fort South have expressed their desire to have me represent them as their candidate, but the manipulative and dictatorial tactics of the political leadership have blocked every attempt on my part. On every occasion, they have frustrated and denied the wishes of the constituency branch. In searching for answers as to the rationale for the political leader's venom towards me over the past few years, I realized that my support of Claudius Préville for the position of political leader at a United Workers' Party convention some years ago did not go unnoticed. I am now paying the price as another victim of the vindictiveness of a leader who has no respect and tolerance for those who differ and dissent. For this dictator, you will eventually pay for your democratic decisions, no matter how right or justified you may be." Amidst all the gloom and doom, there are individuals in the organization one would have expected better from, but they too blindly conform to save the day and, in some instances, their pockets. I point to discussions I had with many party officials, including ministers, where my eyes were open to some of the reckless, irresponsible, and corrupt practices within the organizations. That I will disclose at a later date, but one will certainly be the shenanigans surrounding the St. Jude's big box. This is a sinking ship, and as patriotic solutions, we cannot continue this journey. This has been a journey where reckless borrowing have landed St. Lucia in financial turmoil. We now have the worst debt record in the ECCU countries. Our patrimony is shamelessly dished out to foreigners at rock-bottom prices. This has been a journey where persons in distress have received little to no relief during a global pandemic, while foreign nationals are imported and employed on road projects and at our institutions at the expense of our people. As the former campaign manager for Ulrich Mondesi in 2016, also the former campaign manager for Herman Gil Francis in 2021, I cannot continue to support a political leader who is dishonest, who thrives on retribution, aided, abetted, and manipulated by Guy Joseph, whether directly or remotely. I have watched in despair and sadness as the two have no respect for democracy, the Constitution, and the people of this country. It is against such unacceptable standards of administration, oppressive, vindictive, and unpatriotic leadership that I part company with the United Workers' Party. I do so with my integrity intact. I join the thousands of right-thinking citizens of this country to save this country from further destruction. Signed, yours sincerely, Claude Charlemagne. Yes, long letter, but like I said, I've always been interested in hearing the reasons when, you know, people switch. And I remember, well, if you remember as well, Claude Charlemagne and the way that he was, you know, starting to run things with the Herman Gil campaign. I could see that it was dishonest. I could see that it wasn't sincere. And I did ask that, you know, for all the respect that I think many people, including myself, had for him, so seeing that though, I think it's really speaking to what we have all known of the vindictiveness of, you know, the United Workers' Party, and in particular the Prime Minister. And some might think, oh, you know, it won't hurt you if you a Flubbo supporter, but if you go against, clearly that's what he was saying, that's what he claims, that if he supported Claudius Sprayville back when there was the fighting for the leadership of the party, and he supported that person. He's saying that Chasney Paul Bliesa, and he continues to be vindictive, continues to try to thwart every attempt he has in, you know, in trying to be within the United Workers' Party as campaign manager. So we'll keep you updated on that. I just found it interesting. Another thing though, when we speak about vindictiveness that happened over the week there, and again I know it's out there in the media, some people are talking about it, is with Simple, and we know him, especially in the north. He is a businessman selling what he's selling around in the north, in town and Grosley and that sort of thing. So we'll look at that and how ugly, when you talk about vindictive, how ugly that could look. And the Prime Minister is that way, but his minions, the people that work beneath him, took Muna some, because they all have the same value system or lack of values in that regard. So let's look at what that really looks like up close, vindictive nature in politics.
The ringing effect of Pan Sunday is being felt by one avid supporter of the St. Lucia Labour Party, Simon Simple Philip. The staunch SLP loyalist alleges that he is being punished by the Castries City Council for his vocal opposition to the current United Workers' Party administration, which was on display during his participation in the latest Pan Sunday activity. Over the past few weeks, supporters of the main opposition have been taking to the streets, banging cooking utensils in a rally cry for the Alan Chasney government to announce the date of the next election.
It was a panorama, Chasney drive, Chasney must go. And this is why I've been sharing out with people. But they told me I have to go. I have to take out my stuff inside there and go with it.
Philip has become a staple in the city circuit, selling confections like cotton candy and popcorn in Constitution Park, a stone's throw away from the office of the mayor and the Castries Constituencies Council. Now, he is lamenting the treatment meted out by the council, all because of what he claims is his vocal criticism of the UWP government.
when somebody says something about your party, you need to change it away and try to get people to support your party, showing them that you're not victimizing them, but you come there and say, but look at, but you saying Shastney must go. What has Shastney done? And you lay out for me, but Shastney, this is what Shastney is doing, and we don't understand what is he doing and how is he doing. And I mean, we get a lot of supporters when they do support parties and stuff. They do the damage because they victimize people. And I'm saying that I am not that. When Emma was the district representative in Grizzly, I told Emma, do not victimize nobody. And I've said it to Kenzie, if you become the district representative of Grizzly, do not take nobody bread from them.
But how does the council justify the removal of the vendor who was initially granted permission by the CCC to ply his trade at Constitution Park? Mayor of Castries, Peterson Francis, was asked whether the move was politically motivated.
I do no apology for that. Father said you to be. That Sunday before, he was on his thing, that's not the problem. The last Sunday, he was there again. But the mere fact that you're saying, you're there and you're actually being interviewed, that Shastney must go. When Shastney goes, but it's through Shastney you have been able to vendor, because the CCC is part of the government of St. Lucia.
Despite questions surrounding the constitutional right to freedom of association, the mayor remains steadfast in his decision.
The people that is giving you an opportunity to make a living, you are telling them that they must go. So we must give you the strength to put us out.
The mayor claims that the merchant was accorded several courtesies at no cost.
Mr. Simple was not paying any tax for the day. Mr. Simple had current free. He had our tent. His things were being stored here.
However, given his razor-sharp criticism of the current dispensation, it appears these courtesies are simply no more.
I mean, come on. The politics, we know what the politics is about. The politics is the politics. It cannot be right on one side and wrong on the other side. He cannot have the right to be able to say what he wants on the road, being interviewed and saying what he wants. And Peterson Francis is not saying, well, is enough, that you can't stay there. This is also my right. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh.
In April, the current administration came under scrutiny with the controversy surrounding the so-called Belrose Doctrine. The definition was coined by Viewfort South MP Dr. Kenny Anthony to describe an utterance by Senator Fortuna Belrose, who holds the view that constituencies which did not buy into the ruling party's policies and philosophies ought not to expect the same attention from the incumbent as those who voted a UWP government into power.
I saw that and I won't lie to you, I thought maybe I didn't hear wrong because my head was down when I first heard it. And when you have to watch that again, you realize that a man will truly just say that to you. And you might think he's talking about Simple, but he's talking to all of us. This is a reflection of what we're seeing right here in this country. So you can be victimized by exercising your democratic right. You can be victimized, your bread being taken away from you. And I say, Labiti CCC, who just pabay mun bagay, don't allow people to do certain things and vend. But in this case, and maybe the lordship title go to make head too much, so now the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. It's like the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Who are you, Peterson Francis, or anyone for that matter, to take public funds and the public space and have that title and use it to victimize someone? But more than that, I think too, it must be burning him, and a lot of them, this whole administration, I think, when people have found a way, even within the confines of the SOE, even with COVID, even with all what they're doing so people don't have their civil liberties, to come out and pan. You can stay at your home, you can stay in your balcony, you can come out on the road with your mask, just beat and pan peacefully. There is no way to arrest people. You can't find a way to do that. So the only way left, though, is to stifle democracy in that way. So you can't stifle democracy anymore, and that burning you. You cannot say that the panning was wrong, so that burning them. And I could see it on Facebook and other places, the other shows. I can tell it burning them. Because there's nothing you can do. So you will use the power in the way that you have to victimize other people. And people can have whatever problem they have with simple, but that is wrong. And for those who will find, and you know them, they will find any reason to make something right. Peterson, Kaipwe, what do you get here by Latin? I think it is abhorrent, it is disgusting. Well, I guess it is Peterson Francis we're talking about. But the more you think that you've seen it and you've heard enough of the Belrose Doctrine and you know that's not the case, they're showing you truly the ugliness of the way that this administration works. And you think, like Claudius was, what's his name? Claude Charlemagne was saying that it's not just SLP supporters, it's not just simple, it is the United Workers' Party too. If you do not do what they say in the way that they say it, you too run the risk of victimization. Simple, you tell the person he cannot do it because how can I give you strength to be against me? The person is doing his democratic duty, whatever you want to do, he can do. Kilescu Francis Pudisa. They will come and they will find some excuse, some reason. I want to see what you're going to say about that. How can you justify what we have heard there? The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. All right, your Lordship. Zoki met Pia. All right. But I think in just the show, I don't have time for breaks, I have time for nothing. We are really seeing just a degradation of this country from everything that I think good governance is supposed to look like. People who care about a country. The mayor can now say that to people. We're seeing so much. And more than that, we're seeing corruption like we have never seen before. I telling you Friday, but with you know, I would have taken it easy. No. La Pantapusa, scandal, another thing, another document, everything continues to go unabated. It's exhausting, but we cannot tire of telling the truth. We will not stop. So let's listen, let's hear one of the more, the corrupt things that we continue to see within cabinet, within this administration. No, we haven't finished the Pajoa letter yet. We have to go into another one. Let's take a look.
The guys went into cabinet. Hear me. And acquired the very land on which the Dolphin Park was supposed to have been built. So, all along,
can you tell Christopher takes
the idea of the Dolphin Park was thrown out because the intention was to acquire that land. The public figured we want no Dolphin Park. Government relented in that regard.
Did he really ask that or you?
But they treated the land as unfinished business. and so no Dolphin Park. Government went and 6 weeks, like I said, before the fifth anniversary, having won the elections, they acquired the very land on which the Dolphin Park was supposed to have been built. Folks, the story is very interesting. Very. So by cabinet conclusion, number 281A of 2021, I will not tell you, let me show you. Put up page 1 of cabinet conclusion number 281A of 2021, dated 19th. Could you put that down for me, please, a second? Put it down for me, please. Anyway, it has been up, so you could put it back up. Could we take a quick break? 1 second break. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, folks, like I said, the story is interesting. Cabinet Conclusion 281A of 2021, dated 19th April 2021. The following cabinet conclusion is submitted for your attention. Compensation for land acquisition at Earth Gerbet Cove, quarter of Ancillary. Y'all are seeing, folks. Y'all are seeing. Dated 19th April. Cabinet considered a memorandum submitted by the Department of Physical Planning and approved the following. A. That block and parcel numbers 0037B 9596 be vested in Invest St. Lucia for the purpose of facilitating touristic and other economic investment opportunities. Investment opportunities. Cabinet agreed first priority be given to St. Lucia nationals. Paragraph 2. Compensation to Gold Sky Investment Inc. And I want you all to remember that name. I will show you all who owns that company in a while. Compensation to Gold Sky Inc. Investment Inc. in the sum of $9,400,000 Eastern Caribbean dollars. Y'all are hearing this? Y'all are hearing this? As full and final payment for the block and parcels 95 and 96 acquired to facilitate future touristic development. Cabinet is acquiring land in this COVID period to pay $9.4 million. And you all will see how much land in a while. Hold on, you all are too fast. Acquire two parcels of land to facilitate future touristic development. They don't know what this touristic development is yet, but they are acquiring it and agreed to pay $9.4 million. Give me page 2 of the conclusion, please. Give me page 2. Good, that's page 2. So we saw on page 1, Cabinet don't need the land yet. They are acquiring for future touristic development. And they have agreed to pay $9.4 million for those two parcels of land. That was the same land on the Dolphin Park. Dolphin Park don't come through. That acquisition must go through. Good. The payment for the acquisition would be processed as follows. Invest St. Lucia shall pay $3 million. $3 million. 2. Government shall pay $3 million in cash. Y'all are hearing me, folks? Are y'all hearing me? Invest St. Lucia shall pay to Gold Sky Investment Inc. $3 million. Government will pay $3 million in cash to Gold Sky Investment Inc. And hear this, the balance of $3,400,000 will be paid through the issuance of bonds. Are you all with me, folks? So government, the very land on which what was the name of it? The Dolphin Park was supposed to be built, That idea went down the drain. The term is coming to an end, and so they acquire and agree to pay $9.4 million. Now, paragraph 4 reads, the settlement of other parties' interest in that land, Inland Revenue, NIC, First National Bank, Caribbean Banking, be dealt with directly by Gold Sky Investment Inc. and the estate of Joseph Edward. Can you believe this? Cabinet is saying, pay Gold Sky Investments and $9.4 million, and anybody who have interest in the land, Gold Sky Investments will deal with them. Now, folks, at the bottom, you know, I don't know since when cabinet is a court of law. Cabinet cannot bind anybody. How can cabinet say, I'm giving you money, Gold Sky Investments, but go and pay Inland Revenue, go and pay for... What kind of nonsense is that? How are you paying Sky Investment and tell them to go and pay Caribbean Banking, or go and pay First National, or go and pay Inland Revenue, or go and pay NIC? And you are saying it will be dealt with the estate. You are not paying the estate of Joseph Edward, but you are giving the estate of Joseph Edward a responsibility. But folks, there is a note at the bottom of the cabinet conclusion. You will notice it says here, the Attorney General recused himself from deliberations on this issue, on this matter. The Attorney General left the room whilst cabinet was discussing this matter. And I will tell you why. Don't be too much in a hurry, folks. We just got our revelations. Don't be too much in a hurry. I will tell you why the AG was bound to leave the room. First of all, let us check the land registers for parcels 95 and 96 0037B to find out in whose name are those parcels registered. Because, folks, you cannot take land from registered in Richard Frederick name and pay Lydia Fisal. No. If Richard Frederick is dead, you pay his estate. Let me show you in whose names are those lands registered. Show them parcel 95. Good. Parcel 95, as you all could see in the top right corner, 077337B, parcel 95, it measures 1.92 hectares. And I'll tell you what's the total amount of land in a bit for those two parcels. It shows, and this is a land register, folks, of today. This is a land register of today. The owner as of today, June 17th, 2021, is Edward Joseph, deceased Chef Harry. Yes. This land belongs to and has not been removed from the name of deceased Chef Harry. And as you can see there are about 4 cautions registered against this land, this first parcel. Can you give me the back of this land register for parcel 95? So in addition, right, look the back of parcel 95. In addition to all those cautions, folks, There are several institutions, NIC, Inland Revenue, First National Bank, Caribbean Banking, all of them have an interest in that land because apparently Chef was owing and he used that land as guarantee. Let's go to Parcel 96. Parcel 96, folks, is the same thing. Edward Joseph, Chef Harry, deceased. Okay? And cautions again, and if we see the back of the land register for Parcel 96 as well, several institutions have a claim on that land because that land was used as security for some properties. You can take it down. So folks, both pieces of land are still registered up to today, June 17th, 2021, in the name of Edward Joseph, Chef Harry, who is dead. Dead. May the good Lord bless his soul. And there are a number of banks, like I said. There is Inland Revenue, there is NIC interested in getting their slice of the cake from that land. So the question is, the land is not vested in Gold Sky Investments. The land is vested in Edward Joseph, deceased. The land still remains in his name up to today as we speak. But yet, Cabinet has a conclusion agreeing to pay Gold Sky Investments $9.4 million in compensation for land not vested in that company's name. The land, and you know, they're not using it now. It's for future touristic development. Future $9.4 million. And the land has not been transferred from Chef Harry's name. Now, you know, I'm asking, why in light of all those institutions, all those banks having an interest in the land, NIC need their money, Inland Revenue need their money, why is Cabinet agreeing to pay Gold Sky Investment $9.4 million? And why did the Attorney General leave the room? I will not tell you, I will show you. Let me show you the annual return of Gold Sky Investment Inc. This is the first page of Gold Sky Investment Inc. that was filed on the 18th of January this year. Address of registered office, suite number 2, Rodney Bayside Building, Rodney Bay. Gold Sky Investments. Company number 2012C306. Now, I want you all to understand this. At the time of filing those returns, Gold Sky Investment had only one shareholder, and Gold Sky Investment at the time of filing those returns had only one director. Show me who was the director at that time, please. As you see here, the director of the company as of the date of the annual return Mark D. Maraj. Mark D. Maraj, the sole director of the company Gold Sky Investments. Show them the sole shareholder at the date of the returns. Could you show me that, please? Good. List of persons holding shares in the company as of December 31st, 2020. Scroll up, please, or down, whichever. Good. Sole shareholder, Mark D. Maraj. Mark D. Maraj. So you all are seeing what's going on. You all are seeing what is going on. They cannot say, I see. Yes, it's the same Mark Maraj, the one that sues me for Shastni. Yes, yeah, the same one. And folks, a week after the conclusion, you can take it down, when Cabinet agreed to pay that company $9.4 million for land vested in deceased Chef Harry's name, directors of that company were added, shareholders were added. But I will say this, it is downright unlawful. It is illegal. It lacks any kind of justification, an iota of legal justification for the Cabinet of Ministers to agree to pay to anyone or to agree to pay to any company compensation for acquired property which is not registered in that individual or in that company's name. Are you all hearing me? It is not lawful. It is downright illegal for the Cabinet of Ministers to have agreed to compensate a company that was owned solely by Mark Maraj $9.4 million for property which they are compulsorily acquiring for futuristic purposes, when that property is not registered in that company's name. The property is registered in Chef Harry's name, deceased, up to today. And this is a downright illegality. Now the AG had to leave the room because he's cousin to Mark Maraj. He and Mark Maraj are cousins. Folks, I want to say this. I am calling on the government of this country. I am calling on the Prime Minister. I am calling on the Bar Association, because you see, when the lawsuits for compensation start to be filed and fly helter-skelter, it is taxpayers' money that will have to be used in compensation. I am calling on all of you to stop those payments. Cabinet is opening a can of worms here. Cabinet is opening a route ripe for even more corrupt activities. Because how on earth property is not vested in Gold Sky Investments, but the government of this country is agreeing to pay $9.4 million to a company that merely has a caution against the property, like many other companies and banks. You know, that has to stop. So I'm calling on government to stop this payment. I am calling on Invest St. Lucia to stop this $3 million payment. I'm calling on them. If the property is acquired, and I know it is not needed now because the conclusion clearly says for future touristic purposes. If the property is needed and it is acquired and it is registered in the name of a deceased person, the right thing to do is to keep the compensation amount in an escrow account. It should be kept in an escrow account until the executor or executrix, if there is a will, or the administrator or administratrix, in case of letters of administration, until they come forward either with a probated will or letters of administration, both of which are issued by the High Court of Justice. Unless that is done, Cabinet cannot take $9.4 million and pay to a company compensation for land when that land is not vested in that company's name. This is an illegality of the highest order. And folks, again, I am urging the Cabinet of Ministers to revisit this. History will not be kind to you guys, I could tell you that. History will not be kind to you guys. The land is not even needed now. It's not needed for future touristic purposes. But what is needed is the money. The money. The money. First National Bank has an interest in the property. Caribbean Bank, NIC, Inland Revenue. But cabinet, in light of that knowledge, and they knew, but they are saying no, let's go ahead and pay this company. If I had an interest in that land, I file an application for judicial review instantly to review the decision of cabinet to conduct the illegality that it has reduced to writing. So many creditors, so many cautionaires, but cabinet selects one and say pay this one $9.4 million. Cabinet has no such authority, and had I been an heir of Chef Harry, you would never hear the end of this matter. Folks, when will it stop? When will it stop? And what is amazing, the two pieces of land together measure about 7.8 acres, less than 8 acres, 7.78. Okay? 7.78, 7.8 acres. We are buying it for $9.4 million. That works out, and land we don't need yet, we don't need now. That works out to in excess of $1.2 million per acre. We give Teoaking land at $1 an acre. When it is ours, we give it away. $1 an acre. But now, we are acquiring at over $1.2 million an acre. When will those injustices stop?
I know it's a bit of a longer clip, but I think in essence for us to really get the extent to which these people do not care and what is being taken away from us and the lengths you will go. And you already know there's no respect for the dead, so people will just, just take. And I realize, and I don't know if you are too, the closer you're getting to elections and people might have some fear that maybe they'll not be in, so they have to take. Keep on taking because they feel maybe the end is near. So the greed, everybody want to take something before maybe they come out there, no? So do it before elections, do it while you have the power to do it now, and take all you can. Script, just point. I think there's been a lot of talk on this already. I know that if you are a right-thinking solution, if you love your country, you must have something to say about this. You must have some feelings about this. The way that it's not just unfair, it is criminal. It is wrong. And I can see and I can already tell that the people will try to spin this and turn it around, but there is no way that you can defend the indefensible. Let's take your calls with the time that we have left. We'll try to squeeze a few in. We already have a call. Good morning.
Good morning, Tresha.
Good morning, sir.
Tresha, first, before the Attorney General recused himself in the matter that Richard spoke about last night, and a short piece of which you just showed. Before the Attorney General recused himself relevant to that matter, didn't he advise Cabinet that what they were doing was wrong? Because that is the job of the Attorney General, to give legal advice to the government. Now, Tresha, let us return to the game of connecting the dots. Tresha, remember Guy Joseph in terms of the Pajua saga. He said that the signature on the first letter, the to whom it may concern letter, looked like his. The signature seemed authentic, but he knows absolutely nothing about that document. He also said that, and he went at great lengths to show how technology could be used to forge signatures. And the Prime Minister, when questions were put to him regarding that letter, he said, the minister said, and he took his word for it, that no such document exists in his ministry, which Guy Joseph had also said, which means that if the document doesn't exist in his ministry, it has to be fake. Now, Trisha, there is a lot of talk. Talk that I can't prove, I can't verify, but there is talk that the Prime Minister purchased or rented shredders for his office. The Prime Minister also put a statement out saying that his office will be closed from June 14th to 28th for, quote, repairs and deep cleaning. So it looks like, Tresha, before the elections, there'll be a lot of deep cleaning going on. Now, I don't know whether people like the Prime Minister and Guy Joseph are thinking possibly that if certain documents are not found within their ministries, within their offices, then they can't be held liable for anything that appears out there that could possibly link them to something illegal or unlawful. I hope you get my drift, Tresha. Because if they're thinking that by deep cleaning their office or their offices or their ministries, somehow documents that exist out there or that may be uncovered in the public domain after the elections, there will be, that can't be ascribed to them, because since it will not be found in their offices or in their ministries, those documents have to be fake. Tresha, there are all kinds of ways for linking people to documents, you know. There are all kinds of ways. So if people believe, or ministers believe, that by deep cleaning their offices or their ministries, they will not be linked to documents that appear or surface in the public domain after the elections, they better think again. Thanks, Tresha.
Thank you very much, Colin. But, you know, when you do start to think about that, people taking land for the purpose of future touristic development, you pour memni away zone. Professor Yokafe, they will make up anything and take something from a dead man whose name is still on there as the owner, make up some, in fact, don't give it any reason. Just pay somebody $9 million so they can do what they wanted. Of course, the shareholder, like you heard there, Mark Mirage, is the Prime Minister's personal lawyer and involved in so many of the other transactions that this administration has done with CIP and everything else. Toujours là. And when you put that with everything else that we know, all the corruption and the things that we don't know, the things that we haven't known, but right there in your face with documents and everything else, you could see that these people do not care. Right now there, you want to acquire land, pour buy moun l'argent, ek l'hôpital la pour fini, moun pani medication, there's nothing there. People don't have bandages at the hospital. People need some economic. You sit down there unemployed. They're telling you they don't have money to give you some assistance, to give you a 1.5 to hold. The farmers they can't manage money, Ezekiel D. No money being given to the people that are suffering, but you're finding money to give to your people to put in their pockets. And people will say, people will find a way to make that be right. And you can condone that, and you want another 5 years of that. In fact, we're in the 6th year already. You want another 6 years again. Can we survive that? And even when I hear people say, you know what, there's life after elections, I don't know if you'll have a country after elections, because if this has to continue, no fini. No fini. Let's take the other call. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Trisha. How are you?
I'm okay.
In fact, I beat the world record to stay overnight to call you, because every time I call 12, I always missing the call.
You have to call earlier than 12 then.
Man, I stayed all night to call now, but that's why I get it. Anyway.
Since last night. Okay.
Yeah, remember last time, every time I call, I was going.
Okay.
Trisha, boy, you see, I don't want to talk about any issues that's currently going on, because I just cannot reform sin. Sin has to be eradicated. What bothers me most as a worker is what happened to my good friend down at the park there. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Simply what you're talking about.
No, as a worker, as someone who gone through similar thing, I think I really want to appeal to Mr. Francis. And even the boy, I don't know what to say again. So well, if I said what I should happen, but let's. Telephone.
No, I'm hearing you, caller. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, sorry, but yes, I'm asking the authority, the Ministry of Equity, Social Transformation, and the Labor Department, the Prime Minister, Mr. Francis himself, plead to his conscience. You cannot do oh man, this is really something, and he's going through a lot, huh? That's not the first time. Okay. I feel the pain because I know what it is.
Because you're also in a similar business, you're a vendor as well, you say?
Hello, Trisha, what you said?
I said you're in the similar business, you're a vendor as well?
No. I work at Radio Central. There are a lot of union things, a lot of victimization. I shop union person, shop steward. So I understand the issues that are going on there.
Oh, I get you. Okay.
Generally.
Yeah.
You meant 94 when they closed down, and now it was 3 years of July 31st, 20, this year go be 4 years. Yes, 2007, 4 years after closed. The plate is standing up there like a monument, all the records, all the history. Man, St. Lucia, we'll overcome one day. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Cole. I appreciate your contribution. As for me, appeal to keyless. Peterson Francis appeal. The man said that the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. And how are we going to give you strength for you to exercise your right to be on the street in the way that you can within the confines of the law and do what you feel to do and come to work on the Monday morning. That is everyone's right. That is everyone's right. And I am telling you, you might think it's simple, but it's you too. You sitting there watching this, you sitting there listening to this, how would you feel? Because you have your own personal view on politics. You exercise your right. In any democracy, you are able to go and protest. Ek vini ledi, ek fe travail, ek kaya pou sa. Même si yo fâché, le fi jayo ni pou fâché. A man can come there on a TV and come and play as if he do me a favor and he take it back and then I have to come and appeal. So, okay, fool, man. Let's take the call. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
So, my question is, when they find these politicians guilty of all the criminal activities they have done, I want to know, like, what's the penalty or what's the justice will be like for these guys? Sure. Because we all know for the citizens of the country, if you do any little thing to try to survive, you've been penalized, you've been arrested. So, you know, I'm just wondering, that's one. And I'd like to remind all the parents out there, mothers and fathers, don't forget these guys have disrespect us in all ways possible, especially the mothers, the single mothers. Mm-hmm. So I would like them to know when election comes around, you know, we have to show this guy, you know, women business. We need to get this guy out because I don't think we can survive another 5 years beneath these guys. Because really and truly, it's very sad to see how they're treating the country, and to see people come to our country and disrespect us and take our laws for puppy show as a joke. Like, you know, as a leader, he's breaking our laws, and you can see, like, you know, you have other business coming like Cabot telling us, like, oh, like, we had to get permission to go on the beach, and, like, you know, like, all kind of puppy show happening. So we need to do something about these guys. I want to know, like, the penalty they're going to face when they find them guilty and so forth. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And you would think too that with Chef Harry and, you know, wanting to, I think, you know, dedicate something to him or remember him in a way, instead of the country doing that in the work that he has done. Zovli, it's okay, mati ek pwet tout sa ek ya mo ek zoka parle about maledisyon. You're talking about curse, you're talking about things like that. When you talk about human guilt, pilou fè sa, pli baz yo ni pou vin noue. Pli man yo ye la, ou kay we tale. I just do not understand how people can do these things and call it politics. That's not politics, that can't be politics, that's not even human. No conscience, no heart, no soul, nothing. Let's take the final call. Good morning.
Good morning. Mwen ka kriye pou di kon sa. Let me say chasne di. Inclusion se jakasite right. Because gade kantite malpropte isek nou pies pa wey. Bon Dieu béni Mr. Frederick.
Thank you, caller. Merci appeal.
Bon.
Merci appeal. And, you know, with I think the knowledge right now is more important than anything. I know on the other side with GVD TV and the others that, you know, they have their friendly little thing going on with this administration. They need the ignorance. They need the willful ignorance. On this side, on the side of truth, you're not afraid of knowledge. You're not afraid of it. You delve into it. You're escaping nothing. You're not pretending that there are fake documents. You delve into it because you are looking on the side of truth. And truthfully, this criminal behavior, it can't be rewarded. You cannot put these people there again. And I don't see how. And for those like Claude Charlemagne, I guess if you take your time and you've realized now that where you are, Ipabo, for all of those, because you can't even call that United Workers Party. That's not flubble. That is something else. That's mafia. That's criminal, what these people are doing. And for those who insist on supporting them, Papa, Mama, do you. But for me and for the rest of us, when we feel we want to be in a country that actually cares about us, that will put us first, that's not what we're going for. So for the people this weekend there, when you're looking at your fridge and your cupboard and you're looking at your wallets and you're seeing that you don't have, realize that they have $9 million that a man just took illegally wrongly just take, and this administration gave it to them. Attorney General Nipu sort of shamna. How many of the other things? But Joe now, somebody can just bring a letter to anywhere and say, guys, say, give me $62 million US, and you self this weekend there, you have to suffer, you have to, you know, figure out how you're doing things, figure out how you're surviving for the rest of the year, for the rest of the week, and for Monday there, for your children, and for school, and for books, laptop, come by, if that doesn't upset you, you feel I want to go in the weekend, you feel it's Friday, so I want to be. But if you have to really look at where we live in there, we need to keep that in mind as we go on into the weekend. We've come to the end of the show. I'm you know where I stand on all the issues, and I think now, if you're still undecided, I think, well, that's your prerogative. But for me, the decision has already been made, and for thousands of us, we need a change. And for those of you, and if that scares you, what Simple has gone through, that, you know, you pan and you do whatever you have to do, you protest, and then this is what happens. Do not be afraid of people like that. Do not be afraid of the vindictiveness of certain individuals. Stand up for what is right, stand up for your rights, in fact, and do what you need to do. I want to say thank you for watching and for listening to us on radio and all the different platforms that we're on. Hopefully I get to see you at 11, Sibodi Vle. And over the weekend I hear it's Father's Day. So happy Father's Day as well. And hopefully I'll see you at 11. But until then, have a good one.
I can't stay.